You can download episodes of Stacy on the Right from the podcast page on AFR.net or UrbanFamilyTalk.com. Now, back to the show on American Family Radio and Urban Family Talk.
Welcome back to the program. Thank you for being here today. You can find out more at American Family Radio's radio site, AFR.net. You can also go to UrbanFamilyTalk.com, and you can go to StacyOnTheRight.com. Yes, so let's now go to our next guest. It's Tina Marie Griffin, counterculture mom. She and I met at Shannon's house here in St. Louis, and we had the best time talking. She's tall, like me, but she's model thin, which is awesome, and she's beautiful. In addition to all those attributes, which I enjoy, she's brilliant, so smart, and so dead on with her commentary about where we are right now. And she's waging that war from home, homeschooling her kids, and doing a radio program out of Nashville. Tina Marie Griffin, thanks for joining the show today.
Hey, thank you for having me. Yeah, we're either on the ground schooling our kids or we're up in the air trying to share the truth next to the people on the plane. It's just a nonstop job, but we love it, don't we?
I love it. When you sit next to people on the plane, they're in for a treat, right?
Yeah, that's about it, especially if you're on one side and I'm on the other.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this YouTube Kids thing. So first of all, if your kids are smaller, YouTube is a landmine. It's like, you let them on there, and they've cleaned it up a lot with the suggested videos, like the videos on the side that show up when you watch one thing. But invariably, they can't do it all because there are more evil people out there than they have moderators. And new content is constantly being put up there that is just disgusting, depraved, and really inappropriate for kids. So they've launched something called YouTube Kids. So it sounds on its face like it should be great, a safe place for kids to go, an alternative to the Wild Wild West atmosphere of regular YouTube. What's the problem with it?
Well, the major problem that's going on with YouTube Kids, and here as we're talking, my phone's blowing up. Probably some parents that are up in arms with something else that just happened today. I need to have 5 people on board here help me out. YouTube Kids, yes, used to be safe. It was something I promoted for parents. If they want to make sure that their kids, they have 30 minutes to do something for fun and jump on YouTube and watch some videos, not a big deal. I used to have playlists. And I say used to because I had erased everything for my 2 younger girls off of YouTube Kids because of some recent junk that was just discovered in the last year. The most recent video, last couple of weeks, showed a clip of a guy that is basically has millions of different followers. I think his name's Freddie. It goes by first name of Freddie. And he is encouraging kids in the middle of a kid's cartoon, mind you, Stacy. So they're watching a cartoon. He pops on for a couple of seconds in there and says, remember, kids, as he takes his hand as if he's slicing his wrist, slice sideways to get attention, but all the way down your arm to get the job done. End it. And that's what he's telling our 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, showing them and telling them how they can commit suicide by doing some incisions on their arm, via cutting.
Well, why? Why did he do that?
I have no idea what his main intention is besides trying to inflict harm with children. But this stuff is happening on an escalating rise even in our TV shows. So to see it with teens and tweens, very alarming. To see it now with toddlers, it blows my mind that this guy even has that many million followers. It's very disturbing to me. And the bummer is, like you said, there is no 100% safe protection set up or settings that are available for parents when it comes to YouTube, even kids, to block this kind of content. It pops up unannounced in the middle of kids' cartoons. You don't know what's going to be on there. You watch a cartoon the first time, it looks clean, safe. Sure, go ahead and watch it for half an hour. And then, boom, you'll have this thing surprise the kids halfway to the cartoon. Problem is, most of the parents don't catch it in time. They're not watching the whole time their children are watching these 30-minute programs on YouTube. So the kids are exposed to this junk with the parents being unaware. It's just that one mom happened to be looking over her son's shoulder for this 30-second span of time and noticed that commercial, took screenshots, sent it into YouTube, and some of these that he's pumped out before with suicide and cutting took 8 months for YouTube to actually take off of their channel?
Because they're too busy monitoring me for saying things like homosexual instead of gay and, illegal alien instead of immigrant. And my favorite,
Exactly.
Being allowed to say someone who's trans is actually like mentally ill, like we used to believe and used to be a part of our regular psychiatric practice that trans people were mentally ill. They're too busy monitoring conservatives for that kind of talk to monitor these other really popular shows for, because what you're describing is it's malpractice. It's what would be considered like if that were on a regular television station, they'd get sued. And so what is your recommendation to parents? I mean, for me, this comes at a time where my kids are teenagers and they're already watching YouTube, and they're all at the age where I really talk to them more about being obedient to God and listening to the Holy Spirit and not consuming content that they would be ashamed to have me see over their, if I walk in and I see it over their shoulder, would they try to hide it from me? Because I'm trying to teach them to police themselves, because they're going to be leaving home soon. But when your kids are teeny tiny, it's our responsibility as moms to make sure that they don't consume this stuff. It is our job. And if we fall down on the job and our kids see this stuff, it's our fault. And so that's why you take it so seriously, which I'm glad of. But what are you recommending to parents about this kid YouTube and all of this online content?
I think the biggest thing, and I want to make a quick correction, it's not Freddie, it's Frank, just because you should see how many pop culture alerts I have in my head every single day. I have probably 30 of them right now I could talk about that are alarming that parents need to know about at this minute. The guy's name is Filthy Frank, and he has 6.2 million subscribers, calls himself the, quote, embodiment of everything a person should not be, end quote. Well, that's the problem. We have too many people showing our kids what they shouldn't be, and yet kids are following that, emulating that, doing it, and we have kids that are dead with a disease, depressed, suicidal, cutting, you name it. The biggest thing I suggest for parents today, especially with the onslaught of the attack through entertainment, is not that I want to go straight to a book, but it's the best book I've ever read from Matt McKee, and it's called Parent Chat. It's available on my source at counterculturemom.com. I think it's $12, $10. And it's a great 2-hour read because in it, he divides up, depending on how old your kids are, what tech gadgets are, give great godly advice, should be allowed for each of those age parameters. Because sometimes we think, a 5-year-old can easily handle the iPad. Mm-mm. Not any longer, not in general. I mean, I have a 5-year-old daughter who has to ask me permission to use it. She only gets on 15 to 20 minutes when she is on it. And I want to say a day, but she's not even on it every day. So I even not only guard the content there on it, be very specific with the apps that are on there. I have a free parent media guide, which I'll explain in a minute for your listeners, that helps guide them through what apps are safe, what are not. But know what apps are on your tech gadgets for your kids. Check out this book, Parent Chat, because it walks you through, are they ready for a cell phone? Are they ready for an iPad? If so, how do you set up the parameters on both of those tech gadgets to choose how long they can be on every day? Circle device. I have a great discount for the Circle device, which helps set up for parents on this free parent media guide. You click on the Circle device link. It takes you right to the page to order it. Phenomenal device where parents can have the power back in their hands and choose, okay, for my 10-year-old son, Jake, he can be on it for an hour a day, and these are the different spots he can go to and navigate on his own. I feel safe. I've previewed it. He's good. These are the places that I'm blocking that he cannot have access to. And then explain to your kids that it's not as though you don't trust them, you just don't trust anybody else. And give horror stories, if you need to, of kids that found themselves kidnapped or getting a chat from a predator and it turned into a whole big scam. I have videos on my website, counterculturemom.com, that parents can go to and watch this take place so their kids know why they want to make sure that they keep them safe so there's no battle between the child and the parent. This also was talked about in that Parent Chat book. I love the conversation starters. And then the Circle device also allows you to set up, let's say your 5-year-old daughter or son, you're allowing them to be on for 20, 30 minutes, and they have different type of apps to let them be on according to their age-appropriate range. I love the Circle device because it allows you to do that. It also gives you the chance to say, we're not going to have any tech gadgets on from 6 to 8. That's family time, eating time, bonding time with the family. And let's say you shut off the Circle device shuts off automatically all tech gadgets at 9 at night, so you don't have horror stories that I hear every day traveling America and talking to parents of how their kids stay up every single night, all night long till 3 or 4 in the morning on Snapchat, on Facebook, on Twitter, all these different places, Choices, Game, you name it, which was horrible for the content itself, where they're going on and staying up till 3 a.m. and not able to function at school the next day. So the circle device, the parent chat book, and then, of course, having conversations with your kids to help teach them why you want to have them only on for a certain amount of days, and then have them have play dates where they're outside in the yard. My son and both of my boys today after lunch went out for an hour and played baseball. My son's going to be starring pitcher on the team this year. I'm totally stoked. But I have them outside, fresh air, and moving around. And, I don't want my kids to be obese. So many kids are obese today because they're on the couch watching entertainment or playing video games. So we just have to go back to being the parent, giving our kids some freedoms outdoors to have fun, have neighbors over, and have a good time, and be active, join sports, join dance, and not be babysat by tech gadgets and the content on the tech gadgets. That would be my top parenting advice right now. All coming back to the pre-parent media guide. Stacy, if they text the word guide, GUIDE, the number 444-999, they will get, within a minute in their inbox, once they respond with their email, my free parent media guide, 4 pages filled on how to do a pop culture purge in their home and get the thousands of positive entertainment options in their home to replace it. And I guarantee you, Stacy, I've had parents all the time email me in, call me, say they notice a huge difference. And within a couple days of applying the tips I have in that guide, because our kids are feeding on positive content rather than the negative, which completely gives them a whole positive outlook on life and their feelings and their health, everything.
Okay, wait. So what's the number that they text to again?
Yes, they text the word guide to the number 444-999.
444-999. Okay, so and then the counterculturemom.com is the website that people can go to get the resources that you just described. So fantastic breakdown. You just did that so quickly. And I encourage people, share the podcast, share this with someone you know. If you've been to coffee with girlfriends or mom's night and people are talking about how they can't control their kids with their devices, talk to them, share this interview with them. This is how you can get the information out there and we can fight back. The other thing I recommend is for your bigger kids, it's that, and the circle device, I remember hearing about it. And then of course it just slipped out of my like lexicon of things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. We got to get that over here. Yeah. We have a rule that so you can't take your phone. You can take it upstairs to listen to your music while you're in the shower, play the music in your bathroom, but it has to be on the charging station all night long. So when you go to bed, we do that. So now, the other thing that you're talking about, that circle device where it cuts the internet off, we need that here because what happens is if I'm on my phone doing whatever I'm doing, then I don't notice that the kids are on their phones doing whatever they're doing. And it stretches from 30 minutes to, you can sit there for a couple of hours just looking at Pinterest. That's what I find myself doing. I want to unplug from politics. So I'll get on Pinterest and I'll start off looking at cowgirl boots or clogs. And before I know it, I'm looking at home decor, shabby chic, whatever. And I've been on there for an hour and then I'm like, ooh, I want to get up and get a cup of hot tea. And everyone in the room is staring at a tiny screen. I'm like, put these down. Let's talk. Let's, I'll grab one of the kids. Let's go to the half price books. Let's go do something. But it's a struggle because we use the devices too. The circle would make a huge difference. The other thing that I want to recommend is for teenagers right now. And we have this struggle at our house where kids are texting each other all the time so they don't have to have each other over. So what I did was I made my daughter have a play date over Christmas. And she was like, don't call it a play date. I said, then you're having your girls over. Does that work for you? I don't care what you call it. She texted them and they came over and the moms dropped them off. And I told them, I was like, you guys, you're talking to each other. If I hear silence, I'm going to come in and take these phones. I went out of the room. I heard laughing. I came back in with pizza. They were enjoying themselves. When the girls' moms came and picked them up, all the girls were smiling as they left. And the moms were like, thanks for doing this. I said, we should do this more often. Now, of course, that was Christmas. Is it March already? I have no idea. I'm like in a time warp and it seems to be moving faster than ever.
It's March.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's a great idea, Stacy.
It is, but you got to do it. It's one of those things where if you're anything like me, you're like, well, the house isn't clean, or our dog, he's the kind of dog who has to be groomed. Look at him. He hasn't been washed in a few weeks and he's matted. We can't have people over. Yes, you can. People don't care what your dog looks like. People don't care if your floors have been mopped the last couple of days. If there's a dust bunny there, just pick it up with your fingers and drop it in the trash and invite some people over. We've got to start doing this because our kids don't know how to talk to each other anymore.
Absolutely. You're so right on. I want to give a little piece of advice. You got to do this like weekly or monthly, girl. Like you and I are two peas in a pod here. I think the biggest thing that helped me out was sometimes I'm in a trance. I'm like, okay, wait a second. I'm giving them an hour for playtime, and they're saying, what can we do? And the granted, I have 4 kids, 10 and under, so a little bit different age range here, but this could work for any kid age you got. I made a master list of activities they could do. So I'm like, I have like 35 things in that beast. So I'm like, okay, Jake, you haven't done this for a while. Try the Legos, or we have Lincoln Logs, or build a racetrack. Here's the marble deal. Because I want them to put things together to use their brain, parts of their brain they typically don't even use. Cursive writing I have them do when they're in their homeschool curriculum here that I've got. I call it Griffin Academy to make it sound cool. But, you know, all the kids have big bins of different activities, and I wrote a whole list of things they can do that they keep switching up, so it's never the same 3 things over and over again. Sometimes you go to the iPad because it's the thing you get addicted to, and you forget that there's tons of toys, games, and puzzles right in front of your face. So
yeah, and the iPad actually has a lot of educational resources on it. You just have to go to those instead of just sitting watching the dumb YouTube videos or watching the kind of meme Lord videos, which the kids like watching those. And sometimes, like, so I know it's not all bad because obviously the kids come over to me and they'll show me one and we'll just laugh until our eyes are like we're crying. And there's other times where my son will forward me an article and say, Mom, have you seen this? You might want to talk about this on your show. So it's not bad. It's just the way we use it. It's the way we use it. When my kids were your kids' age, Tina, I didn't have to say that. They knew if they said they were bored, I would make them clean, wash walls, wash windows. So they always had their Legos out and stuff. But now, that was before the iPad. My kids were like just on that edge. You're fantastic. The work that you're doing is God's work. You're helping parents, and I thank you for it, Tina. Thank you for coming on the show today. Let's talk again soon.
You got it. Everybody download the Counterculture Mom app today.
Do it today, guys. It's good for you. All right, Tina. Talk to you again soon. We'll be right back with more.